But thank you and welcome to everyone for being here. All of our students, parents, family members, friends, community partners, school partners, donors, board members, and supporters. Thank you so much for joining us here today to celebrate the graduation of our 30th class of Generation of Promise students. We are so excited to be here with you. My name is Alexa Borromeo, and I am the program manager of Generation of Promise. And today we're going to be celebrating the accomplishments of this class in what has been a very unique and challenging year, both inside and outside of Generation of Promise. In a fully virtual year, simply finishing out this year strong has been such a blessing and accomplishment. Because quite honestly, not everyone who has started with us this year has been able to complete the year because of the demands of a virtual year and the effects of the pandemic. But despite all of the challenges, this group that is here today has stayed strong, and they have built a community with each other. And they are truly inspiring to work with. And I look forward to continuing to work with you all and support you all as you graduate and become a part of our network of over 1,600 Generation of Promise alumni. So this year we have learned together, we have had fun together, we have shared, we have innovated, and I think we have made the absolute best out of this year. And I hope this shines through to you all through what our students have prepared for you all today. And every year, the Generation of Promise graduation is planned and designed by our students. And so this year, they have chosen a social media theme because of the huge role that social media has played for them throughout this year. And they have some amazing things planned for you this evening. They'll share with you their capstone projects that they have worked on this year. We will award certificates, and they also have some special speakers and performances. And so with that, I will introduce our graduation MCs, Adam Hafeli and Jazmyne Reese.
Hey everyone, thanks for the introduction, Alexa. My name is Adam Hafeli, and I'm a junior at Lake Orion High School, and I'm really excited that we can all be here, and I hope that you all have a great time this evening seeing everything that we do in the program.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Alexa. My name is Jazmyne Reese. I attend South Lake High School. Yes, thank you all for coming out today. And you guys get to experience basically what we have been doing this whole school year. And yeah, thank you.
All right, so to kick off our graduation ceremony, we'd like to introduce Portia Robeson, the CEO of Focus Hope, to welcome you all to the Focus Hope family.
All right, everyone. Hello, good evening. I am so happy and thrilled to be here. I have on my GOP t-shirt, so I hope you guys, I don't know, on screen it might not translate, but believe you me, I do have it on. I am thrilled to be here in particular because first of all, Generations of Promise is one of our shining stars. Can you see it? Now I can see myself, so there we go. And it is one of our shining programs. It really is, because it really gives young people the opportunity to get to know people across whatever dividing lines they may perceive to have. And so it is extremely important to the success of Focus Hope. And hopefully we're a big part of its success as well. You know, for me, the idea of people getting to come together, even if it's virtual, is huge, because I think so many of the challenges that you face as you get a little older and you go out a little bit more into the world are based upon people just not being familiar with one another, not being familiar about where people come from or how people were raised or what cultural differences there are. And at the core of it, we all really realize that we're all more alike than we thought we were. And so this is a first step in that process. I hope it is a first step in you continuing to get to know people who may not look like you, who may worship differently than you, who may live in places that are different from yours. But hopefully it's an exposure that will continue, like, as I said, through college and through the rest of your life. I am also so proud of everyone who has participated in the GOP program this year. We could not do it without you, which is obvious. But honestly, this year has been like no other. And this is now my second virtual graduation, although the first one, I think there was a small amount of time where they may have at least met in person. But for you all, you have done this completely and all virtual. And so it makes sense that you're all about social media tonight, because you've had to use it in ways that one never expected. When I first got on Facebook, I know nobody uses Facebook anymore. When I got on it years ago, we did it for fun. Nobody thought that we would be using our computers the way we have in this last year. And so I want to commend you, but I also want to commend your entire village for supporting you through this last year. The fact that you stuck with GOP, the fact that you've gotten to know one another and talk to one another and just explore the differences and the likenesses is huge, especially in a time like this. So again, congratulations to all of our graduates. I always say this at every graduation, and I truly mean it. Once you are part of the Focus Hope family, you are always a part of the Focus Hope family. So when the time is right, I expect that some of you all will come down and actually visit us on campus. And hopefully that time is sooner rather than later. But again, congratulations to each and every one of you this evening. And Alexa, thank you for inviting me. I'm here and I have my t-shirt.
Thank you, Portia.
Okay, so to really start off graduation, we're going to be doing a final icebreaker of the GOP class year. And this icebreaker is just going to give everyone a chance to shout out who they're here for, who you're supporting, what school you represent, and so forth and so on. So if you all don't mind commenting who you're here for, like maybe you're here for your daughter, your son, your school liaison might be here for a few students that might attend there. So let's take a moment and shout out in the chat who you're here for. Okay, we have Julia here. Oh, the chat is scrolling. I'm sorry, guys. We have Elizabeth here for Brendan. My chat is going so fast. We have Dallas representing Renaissance. Elizabeth loves Connor, Brendan. Daniel's also U of D. Alexa's here for everyone. Paul's here for Cameron. That's hilarious. Here to support Adam. Aw, love mom and dad. That's so cool. Representing Cass Tech, Andrew Hall. Supporting Maya and Maurice. Aw, so nice. Here for Alexa. I think we're all here for Alexa. I'm here for Alexa too. All of this amazing. Oh, thank you. All of the participants, Grosse Pointe South, Liggett. Here with my parents. Okay, go Groves. Representing Fitz. Oh, that's so nice. My chat was lagging. Ryan, Audrey. Thank you all for shouting out. If anyone else has any shout outs they want to do, be free to type them out in the chat. Rep your schools, rep who you're here for. You can shout out a friend, shout out a facilitator because they're great. And yes, I think we can sum it up, or yeah.
All right, so next up, we're gonna be talking about our capstone projects. So in the second semester of Generation of Promise, we learned about critical social justice issues. We met with community partners, advancing progress in these areas, and learned community organizing strategies and how to affect positive change in our communities. And with this knowledge, we worked together in groups from January to May to create our capstone projects. So this year, our capstone projects focused on education justice, environmental and food justice, immigration justice, police brutality, and criminal justice reform. Each of our projects address the theme of media for liberation. In an increasingly digital world, especially during the pandemic, we realized that people are relying more and more on technology to connect with others. do work, share information, that kind of thing. So through our projects, we explored how to use digital tools and social media to empower youth voices, organize our communities, and advocate for systemic change. So Jazmyne, if you want to introduce the groups.
Yes, first up, we have our education justice group, right? Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, first up, we have our education justice group with Adam, Lucia, Maya, Stavros, and Jacob.
So I think Maya and Lucia, are y'all the ones who are presenting for your group?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Tell me when you want me to go to the next slide. I will go ahead and start.
Hi, my name is Lucia Park. I go to Cranbrook Kingswood Upper School, and I was one of the members of this education justice group. So the name of our project was addressing the disparity between financial ability and national exam scores. One of our main goals was to kind of survey and really figure out how various levels of economic stability can affect a student's national entrance exam score, and how we can possibly solve that issue by providing more resources or raising awareness about this issue. And our goals were to actively inform students and educational programs of the resources that are available to them, and make students who may be on the better side of this issue aware of it and its impacts. Next slide, please. Oh, thank you. So the first part of our solution was to send out a survey through social media to gather data that asked about the following list. Most importantly, it included information about the race, approximate family income, and how they were supported by their schools or outside resources to prepare for their entrance exam. And surprisingly, about 50 to 60 students responded to our survey, and they included really long responses. So we were really thankful for all the support and help we received. So the second part of our solution was the Gop Chain Marathon. It's a type of campaign that we made. So basically, it's a marathon in a sense that people are going to participate in this and look for a really long time. And it's a chain because we're basically trying to create a long chain for change by like connecting students from different schools and trying to spread awareness about this issue by using a poster. So how this works is one student receives a flyer that we created to spread awareness, and they're on a mission to send that flyer to 3 other students that are around them. And that way this campaign is going to spread like far away. So it's going to raise awareness about this issue really easily.
Like Lucia said, this is the poster that we made that we're planning on using. It has the title of the Capstone Project Marathon and a little description of what we're trying to accomplish, and then a link also to the video that we made. And like she said, every person who sees it is challenged to send it, repost it, email it, any way they can get it out to 3 other people, 2 other people, just to keep spreading our message. So overall, we decided to do little reflections on what we thought and how we felt about the project. And I'm not going to go through all of them. If you want to, you can watch our video because we talk about all of them. But overall, we all enjoyed getting to see our issue from different points of views that differ from our own, because we're all unique. We all have different experiences. And we also like being able to connect with people who are interested in making change in education justice, just like we were. This is the media that we use for the project, speaking of the flyers. So we used our Google form, which you guys all saw, to send out the survey. So thank you so much for helping us with that. And then we use the app Canva to make these flyers. So you can see them in the bottom corner. We posted those on our social media like Snapchat, Instagram, etc. Zoom, obviously, we use that a lot. We would meet outside of Generation of Promise, and we even used it to record our final project. And down at the bottom is our video link to our final video that we made. And that is our capstone project.
Thank you, Maya. And I know we do not have time to watch the full video. It's about 20 minutes long of their findings. But do y'all maybe want to share some highlights of like what you found from your survey results that you talk about in the video?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that I found interesting that we found was that it was kind of skewed. We had a big response from, I go to Berkeley, so we had a big response from like Berkeley and the suburbs, but we didn't have as big of a response or as equal of a response from other schools that were just different. And so I think that if we were to do it again, we could figure out a way to do that better and have a bigger, more random sample size. But based on the data we did have, we still found that students who either went to a less like supported school or had less support financially did score worse on their SAT and ACT compared to students who go to a suburban school or one that's supported in lots of taxes. So we think that was really interesting. And we found national studies based on different ACT, was done by the ACT that also supported that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Education Justice Group 1. I forgot to mention in the beginning, if you have questions or comments for any group, feel free to share it in the chat because we won't really have time for a Q&A segment for each group, but hopefully group members can respond to comments or questions that they receive in the chat. So thank you so much. Great job. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Okay, the next group we have is education. Immigration. And yes, immigration justice. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Jazmyne. I'm gonna be here to talk about our immigration justice capstone project. So the issue we were trying to combat was the lack of policies and support in protecting Detroit immigrants. And the way we decided to combat this our solution was to coordinate with community leaders that are experienced in immigration justice to educate Detroiters and mobilize support for immigrant communities. Our goal with this capstone project was to advocate for Detroit to adopt sanctuary city policies, public education, connecting Detroiters with local groups organizing on behalf of immigrant communities, and we learned the power of youth leadership, systemic issues that further immigration injustice, identifying interconnectedness in order to co-liberate, and both the possibilities as well as the limitations of sanctuary city policies. And our capstone project is essentially, we made a series where we interviewed many community leaders, and each interview will be edited and released in an episode. And the first episode, we will be showing you a teaser of it, which is our pilot about sanctuary cities. And right now our series is called Imagining Immigration Justice in Metro Detroit. So for this episode, we incorporated interviews with Antonio Cosme, who works at National Wildlife and has many experiences in immigration justice and leadership in Detroit, as well as in education programs, and Veronica Beltran, who is a Southwest Detroit Immigrant and Refugee Center worker, director, and Gabby Santiago Ramiro, who works at the Detroit City Council. And we incorporated parts of their interviews on sanctuary cities into this pilot episode, but we're only going to show you like a little teaser of it. And you can follow our Instagram to stay updated on when we will be releasing each episode, and subscribe to the Generation of Promise YouTube to see the episodes. So thank you.
Detroit, a place where all people, races, ethnicities, and cultures come together as one community. Here, as Generation of Promise, we look towards a better tomorrow, a place where all people can be here as one, accepted, loved, and cherished. This is our first project as we move forward on immigration justice, seeking change in the city of Detroit as we look forward to a better tomorrow. Today, we will interview several great community organizers and volunteer leaders to help us understand what we can do to make our future brighter and better for all people. Thank you, and please enjoy.
What would be the ideal conditions for a sanctuary city?
A sanctuary city for me is a place that it's safe for immigrants to not feel any fear of deportation. Not only that, but also making sure that they have the resources that they need, that things are in Spanish, that things are accessible, that they don't question you in your immigration status. There are many places that have a lot of ICE traffic, a lot of ICE officers. So for me, a sanctuary city is one that outwardly says we will not allow ICE in our cities. We will not question you for your documentation status. That's what it means to me. It's really making sure that the systems that we have in that city, in that place, supports undocumented families and people in order for them to stay there without having to fear deportation.
That a sanctuary city is a city that has legal protections in place to support undocumented people and all sorts of migrants in participating meaningfully in the city government and city institutions and social welfare programs. I imagine a sanctuary city would be doing everything it could to ensure that migrant communities can come here and can thrive and be successful. Whether that be allowing people to have licenses, allowing people to get work, and supporting governmentally. So I think sanctuary city implies government policy.
More to come if you subscribe and watch the rest of the episode and further episodes. Thank you.
Thank you. That was really great. Really, really great. Love the video. It's great. Next up, we have our Education Justice 2 group. And, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, we have our Education Justice group, and here's their video.
Okay, this is our project about mental health in schools. It was made by Adib, me, Dallas, Daniel, and Kennedy. You can go to the next slide.
Our issue: schools don't take student mental health seriously, and there is a lack of support for students. Our solution: we crafted a video in order to raise awareness about the issues that students face. We also created a petition with 3 demands that we want our schools to take in order to support students. Accepting mental health as a valid reason for excused absences, schools plan 2 mental health days per semester, and no homework over winter break.
One of the great things that we've learned through Generation of Promise is how to set goals. We learned that in order to be effective community organizers and to be effective young leaders, that goals need to have a time frame. They need to be timely and quantifiable in some way. So for our goal, we decided that we want our 3 demands that Deeb just outlined on the last slide to be met by the end of the 2021-2022 school year.
For what we learned, so we learned that many students struggled with mental health during the pandemic and during school. And we also learned that other states had took action on this and allowed mental health days for students as a valid excuse. And so we thought that we took action so that we could apply or try to apply and make change and be similar to what other states did, so we could be a voice for the students of our schools and in our districts.
So for our forms of social media and our solution, as we said, we made a YouTube video and we made a petition. So our YouTube video, we included some statistics that we found and that we researched about mental health in schools in general and during the pandemic. And we also conducted interviews with students from our schools, asking them a variety of questions about like mental health, what it means to them, what they think their schools could do to support them, things like that. And then we also have our petition, which I think, Alexia, I just put the link in the chat so you guys can go read and sign that, but it just outlines our demands and it has a little bit more information about some other states that have already taken action, like Utah, and I think Oregon was the other one. Yeah, and I think we're gonna play a little clip of the video.
Now, let's hear what other students have to say about their mental health in school.
To me, mental health means just making sure you're okay and taking care of yourself.
Mental health is a social and emotional issue that affects everyone in the world, but is constantly looked over in our society. These types of conversations need to be normalized, for it can really make an impact on someone's life.
To me, mental health means that it includes our emotional and psychological well-being. This can impact how we make decisions in life when we're stressed or calm.
Yeah, so that was just a short clip. It's longer.
Now, let's hear what
interviews. So if you want to watch that, it's linked in the petition. So you can just go to the petition and it's where it says this video. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, and this group has a goal of getting to 500 signatures. So if you have not read and signed this petition, please do, so that they can share it. So thanks, Education Justice 2.
Yes, thank you so much, Education Justice 2. I am to say I did sign the petition. You guys are great. And now I'm going to introduce Environment and Food Justice Group. And we have Becca, Rohan, Grace, Amelia, Jude, Andrew, and Allie.
Hello, we are the Feed the People group. So Feed the People was our attempt to address the food insecurity issue that is prevalent in Metro Detroit. We were heavily inspired by the guerrilla gardening movement taking place in South Central Los Angeles, and in particular, the benefits that urban gardening was having in improving the quality of life. They were turning food deserts into food forests by decreasing the food apartheid created from lack of produce, especially during the pandemic, where the number of households struggling to find access to food has dramatically gone up, as well as encouraging healthy eating habits and beautifying the land.
And we found that empowering people to garden has numerous benefits to the environment, as well as promoting the reuse of organic materials that would eventually become food waste, and targeting pollution, whether that's CO2 in the atmosphere or through bioremediation to actually clean up polluted sites. So we figured the best way to present our project was to show you what we've been working on. So we selected some clips from our series, and this first one shows how anybody can start container gardening at home.
To begin making your container garden, first start by filling your pot with soil. You can use a potting mix or regular soil. If your soil is not already fertilized, you will need to add it periodically throughout the season. Fill up your pot about to the bottom of the lip. Today I will be planting parsley. In addition to vegetables, herbs can also be a great thing for first-time growers. I bought this plant at Trader Joe's for less than $4, so starting a garden can be extremely affordable. I start by digging a hole large enough to fit the roots of my parsley in the soil. To begin,
So then our next clip is about creating soil that's beneficial for your plants. We go through composting and the significant environmental benefits it provides, especially in reducing food waste, which is the biggest contributor to waste in landfills.
Create the soil. Compost is fuel for your healthy plants. Collecting organic matter, helping it decompose, and then mixing it into our soil builds up nutrients. Another great thing about compost is that it takes things out of our waste sites so that they don't wind up in landfills. They go right back down into our healthy soil. While it may seem daunting, compost is really not that difficult. It takes a bit of time and thought to set up, but once you're up and running, compost happens naturally. Try starting up a compost pile in your yard or put compostable materials into a large bag. If desirable, you can also buy commercially available containers that speed up the job. There are many different types of containers made of many different types of material. Some of the most popular use wood, wire, plastic. Whatever method you choose, just be sure to keep your compost moist and aerate by mixing it up now and then. You can put in food scraps, coffee grounds, sawdust, eggshells, anything that comes from nature. As for things you don't want, greasy foods, meat product, lint, anything inside a litter box, if you don't want it in you, don't put it in your compost. Create this.
Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we got you a little bit interested, and you'll go check out our YouTube channel where you can learn more about gardening and subscribe for new content. I'll try to post the link in the chat.
Yeah, I just put the link in the chat, so if you guys would like to go check that out, we'd be greatly appreciate that.
Thank you so much, food, environmental and food justice. You guys did great. Next up, we have education justice number 3. And here they go.
Hi, I'm Maya from Education Justice Group 3. So for our capstone project, we focused on mental health. Our prompt or assignment we were given was to work on education justice, focusing on schools in Metro Detroit. We came up with the goal that we wanted to channel our project to support mental health in high school students, especially with COVID making things a bit more difficult. We decided that would be a really cool project that we could focus on. So what we came up with was the idea to make a website, which is a compilation of various mental health resources and information that are specifically catered towards high school students that can be hopefully a helpful resource during this time. What we've done is we've created this website and sent out polls to students, first compiling statistics and information on what students are currently dealing with in their mental health. And later, when we sent out our website, we also had a poll asking for feedback, how our website was easy to navigate, what was difficult about it, what information they want on there, and we have gone from there. So if you'd like, you can click on the link to view our website. So just a quick overview.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a quick overview. We have our website. First, we have the statistics. If you scroll down, these are statistics that we collected from our poll given to Generation of Promise, as well as on the left side, we have, that on the left side is our statistics. On the right side is statistics from National Association of Mental Illness. So we also have an about saying who we are and what our goal is. And then you can see in the menu, we have mental health information, which serves to have resources and links to information on mental disorders, general mental health information for teens, as well as a section for parents and teachers who want to support their children and students in mental health. We also have a page for resources where we have links and information on therapy and support groups that are either geared towards teenagers or have the option for any age group, as well as links for various mindfulness videos and a summary of what they are geared towards. And lastly, we have hotlines that I believe are a necessity for any mental illness site. If there's ever an emergency, then this can hopefully be a resource. And lastly, we have a link to our Instagram page if you guys would like to follow us and keep up with our adventure in promoting this site and hopefully making it a better and more available resource for high school students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mental Health for All. You guys did amazing once again. Shout out to all my class 30 peers. Next up, we have the final group, Police Brutality and Criminal Justice. And yes, let's get it started.
Can you go back one slide? There's a video on it. Thanks.
I don't know if I have a video. Let me see. I can find it though. 1 second. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your project is, and then I can, as I find the video?
Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. So, hey guys, while our video is loading up, I just want to talk to you guys about our Capstone Group. So we focus on police brutality and criminal injustice. And in the video, we'll be discussing like our problem and how we found a solution to the problem. So the problem was our community is facing with a lot of issues on a day-to-day basis. And we wanted to find a way to spread awareness and normalize the conversation around this issue. So that is why we decided to create an Instagram page, because a lot of people are on social media these days, and it's the quickest way to get information out there and get it out there efficiently. So in the video, there'll be clips of us talking about our problem, showing off our Instagram page and all the different topics that we discussed. And in the video, we also have clips of our Instagram live. We recently just went live and we had around 20 people watching our live, and we were just discussing like the problems in our community, and we were just engaging with our community and just making a strong relationship with them, because at the end of the day, not only is it important to bring change, but it's also important to bring change with the community, to have someone to fall back on. So because we can't be doing this alone, we need a group, we need a strong group. So that is one of the main reasons why we did an Instagram page. So yeah, I think the video might work now.
So, all right.
Hey guys, my name is Samir Rahman.
Hi, I'm Brendan Connors.
Hey, my name is Jazmyne Reese.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, my name is Zaria.
My name is Abby Sparkman.
My name is Audrey Hambrick.
And we are Gen Z Redefining Reform.
Gen Z Redefining Reform is a group that addresses issues surrounding criminal justice reform and police brutality.
Our approach to this issue was not only creating an Instagram page to help us reach our initial goals, but it was also to help us grow a strong community to amplify our concerns.
Our initial goals for the Capstone Project was to educate the youth of the Metro Detroit and surrounding areas on police brutality and criminal justice, and to inform the youth of current events taking place not only in the Metro Detroit and surrounding areas, but throughout the country.
Hey guys.
Now here are some questions that we asked our Instagram followers. Now we asked our followers a bunch of different variety of questions, but today we're just going to be showcasing the questions that got really, really good responses. And one of the questions we posted on our Instagram feed was, How have you had your views on police brutality influenced by something you have seen on the internet? If so, how? And as you can see, we got a good variety of answers on this that went really in depth. And one example of those answers were, yes, just by seeing all of the deaths caused by police brutality is just very sad. And if you guys want to go ahead and read the rest of the in-depth answers, you can go ahead and visit our Instagram page in the chat at Gen Z Redefining Reform. So you can go ahead and comment your own opinion, and you can also read these questions as well. And I'll hand it over to the next question.
Another question we got is, do you think schools are addressing global movements now? One answer that we got is no, they don't. I've learned more about history on social media than I have in school. Another one is school only teaches about the historical movement, not the current ones.
We also asked our followers to describe in one word, how the presence of a police officer makes you feel. We got answers such as like afraid, scared, unsafe, defenseless, just answers like that.
And now each of our team members are just going to be going over and discussing what we learned throughout our entire journey on our GOP Capstone project.
Okay, something I learned was how to build a community of people that was based on the concerns and issues that you're addressing.
I learned how to cooperatively plan, organize, and motivate my team to really work and be productive.
I learned that most of the people in our age group get most of their information about what's going on in the world like through social media. And I feel like all of the groups really showed that with their presentations as well.
I learned all the tedious work that goes through community organizing and planning events.
I learned about the hard work that goes into running an informative social media page.
I learned how hard it is. Sorry.
You can go ahead.
I learned how hard it is to start a social media and to get it around.
I learned how to creatively communicate with a large audience in order to keep them engaged.
I learned the difference between talking about a problem and then acting on a problem.
And I think that's it. This project was really amazing and really enlightening because we got to work with a lot of amazing organizations like Detroit Will Breathe and DAM. And I just feel really humble and I feel really appreciative that I really connected with my community and we really got to analyze and bring awareness to the issues our community faces on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this gives you the ambition to go make change.
Thank you so much to my amazing group. Love you guys. But next I will be introducing Azuma. We would like to introduce Azuma, who she goes to Fortson, I believe, high school. And yeah.
Really quick, just that was our last group. And I just want to give a quick round of applause to all of the groups that completed their capstone projects. And just for some background, the capstone projects are a brand new thing that we've tried to do in Generation of Promise to really put into action the things that we're learning in the program. As we learn more about the history of our communities and the challenges that some of our communities face, we also want to learn about what are the tools and strategies that we have at our disposal to make change. And this year we use media, social media, and y'all are really, truly the masters of those tools. And it's so apparent here. So great job, everyone. And round of applause to y'all. And then I will put it, there we go.
Okay, let me introduce her again. Next, we would like to introduce Azuma, who attends 14 High School. She's going to share a few words about her experience in the Generation of Promise program this year.
Hi. So honestly, going into GOP, I did it as a favor to one of my teachers who's an alumni of the program. I honestly dreaded the pending conversations of me explaining my background and the exhaustion, of being expected as the token minority to educate others. But I soon learned that this wasn't the case with GOP, and that in Generation of Promise were all the educators while also being educated. From day one, this was a safe space where everyone could be vulnerable, a place to open up to strangers who quickly become friends. While working under virtual circumstances has been challenging, Alexa, Joe, and the rest of the amazing facilitators have removed these barriers for us. They have been patient and truly showed us the power of the youth by working with us as equals. Growing up in my tight-knit community bubble in Dearborn, Michigan, I always thought of myself as just another Arab Dearborn girl. But GOP has broadened my sense of community, and I now see myself as a Metro Detroit youth leader. Prior to Generation of Promise, I was uneducated on everything beyond my own city of Dearborn. I learned Detroit's history, coordinating with community leaders, developing organizational leadership skills has been really insightful for me. It's been especially rewarding to ally with students who come from such contrasting environments to my own in a shared pursuit of social justice. Generation of Promise has uniquely allowed us to celebrate our differences and to then form ties with one another through coalitions. Despite the virtual setbacks, I have never felt more active in my community. I've always had a passion for social justice work, but never had the platform or tools to bring change. That is all until I was a part of Generation of Promise. I'll always be thankful for Generation of Promise, growing my passion further and being the stepping stone of what I plan to continue in my life. I've always had the dilemma of what I wanted to pursue as a career, if I wanted public health, public policy, or something entirely different. But Generation of Promise showed me that I can tie any career to my culture, my community, and all my passions. I know there are endless fields of social justice work to choose from. And I know continuing with GOP will push me further on this path. I'm thankful to the leaders and the volunteers of Focus Hope, Generation of Promise, to everyone in Class 30, to my To Be Decided family group, and to my Immigration Justice group, a small but mighty group that I'm proud to continue working with. I thank you all for making this experience not only possible, but memorable. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Azuma, for sharing your experiences with Generation of Promise and your leadership growth and how, yeah. So, here, one sec, sorry. All right, so now I'm gonna hand it back to Alexa, who will present some thank yous to our wonderful facilitators, as well as a special award.
All right, so now we are into the traditional graduation ceremony. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce each family group and the facilitators. I'll invite y'all to share the names of your family group members and virtually present their certificates to them. And so we will first start with family group 1, Scar City.
All right, we're gonna start out. Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's been such an incredible and unique year. But I don't know if I should just go ahead and start reading names now, or.
Oh, you can say whatever you want, Paul.
Yeah, no, I really appreciated you guys so much. I really appreciated the time we've gotten to spend, even in our virtual breakout rooms. It's just been really great to better understand you guys' grasp of these really, really complex issues, and just to really hear the conversations that you've had with each other. So I've really appreciated this year. This has been just a bright light in a really, really complicated year, just being in school and everything. It's been so nice just to be able to be with you guys. So appreciate that. And I will get to the certificate of graduation. So the first one is going to go to Aiden. Next up, we have Annabelle.
Woo.
Ali.
Woo.
Brendan.
Woo.
Caleb,
Yeah.
Nazifa,
Go Nazifa.
Ryan,
Ryan.
Rohan,
Rohan.
Zaria,
Zaria.
I don't know if you guys can hear me clapping.
And congratulations to Family Group 1. Great job. And virtual rounds of applause. And I think Rohan has some words to share.
Yeah, I just want to take this time on behalf of Family Group 1 to acknowledge our facilitators, Paul and Amanda, for all the work they put in to make this very strange year very memorable and unique for all of us. I could tell that initially many of us were really nervous, but you guys created an atmosphere where it was effortless to talk and be open with one another, where we all felt comfortable being who we are. And on top of that, you guys helped create a curriculum where we learned so much about our identities and became really conscientious of the people around us. We were so fortunate to have you guys as role models, and I feel like we've been set up with this value system that we're going to end up bringing to all our future endeavors. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much.
Awesome. And next we have Family Group 2 with Adriana and Joe.
Thank you to this unnamed group. Me and Adriana really appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you all this year. So first we have Abigail or Abby.
Woo!
And then Andrew.
Yay!
Asma.
Woo!
Dallas.
Dallas.
Jacob.
Yes, Jacob.
Lucia.
Woo!
Mashvia.
Mashvia.
Rachel.
Yes.
Rial.
Woo! I'm gonna be everyone's parent today, doing the woos, and so thank you, Adriana and Joe, and I believe who is doing this?
Woo!
Who is it?
I am. Yeah.
Go ahead, Rachel. Sorry, I was trying to remember who it was.
From our unnamed family group, Adriana and Joe have been there consistently and shown endless support for us. They have created a safe space where everyone can feel comfortable enough to feel vulnerable. They spoke to us as equals, people with valid opinions and struggles, not just careless kids. I think I can speak from everyone in Family Group 2 when I say that we are truly grateful for being in Adriana and Joe's family group. They have both put so much time and effort in ensuring that we are resourced, educated, healthy, and on the path of success. Countless thank yous to them both. It has been a privilege getting to know you guys.
Congratulations, Family Group 2. Next, we have Family Group 3, the Change Makers.
Hi, I'm happy to announce the certificates for the Change Makers. It was wonderful working with this group this year, and I know that being virtual has made it a little bit different than usual, but this group really persevered and were very insightful, and Cam and I were very lucky to work with them. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll just jump in real quick, and I just wanted to let y'all know I really appreciated being able to join in with the team a little later in the year. Y'all were really open to just bringing me on board and allowing me to listen to your ideas and learn from y'all. So I'm very appreciative of that and very proud for all the work that you all have done.
Okay, I think Cam and I are altering their certificates. So at first we have Adam,
Audrey,
Maya,
Woo! Sorry. Yes. Demia, yay, Demia. Y'all see Ivan?
on my screen hasn't changed yet.
Ivan. Oh, I thought it was Cameron's turn. Ivan Walker,
Woo!
Jude,
Yay, Jude.
Riel,
Ariel, yes.
Rebecca,
Becca. Woo! And then Demia. Do you have some words?
Hi guys. I would just like to say thank you so much to both Cam and June. We know that this year wasn't ideal, but you guys still took the time out of your days and sometimes even the time out of you guys' jobs to give us that support group and be there for us. It was wonderful working with you guys, and I would just like to say thank you so much, and you guys are amazing facilitators.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And congratulations, Family Group 3, the change makers. Great job. Next, we have Family Group 4, the Starry Nights Dolphin Theater Group on Wheels. These are their family group names that they created if people have not caught on to that yet.
Hi, my name is Maddie. It has been such a delight getting to know all of you this year. Obviously, as it's been mentioned, it's been a really challenging, well, more than a year. But it has been so fantastic spending this time with you monthly and then sometimes more than that. You are all so funny and smart and imaginative and so generous with your time and spirit. And it's so refreshing to spend time with you. So yeah, thank you. Sal, do you want to read names with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Is it? Go ahead.
Okay. First, Aaron Macleod.
Woo! Go Aaron.
All right, Adib.
Go Adib.
He's here.
Danny.
Danny.
Woo!
Woo!
And Aline.
Woo! Go Aline.
Jacob.
Yes, go Jacob.
Jazmyne.
Jasmine. Woo!
Kennedy.
Go Kennedy.
And Maya Lewis. So that's
Maya
our
Lewis.
Maya.
Woo! Maya Maurice.
Maya Maurice. Woo!
And
and I think Maya and Aline, are y'all here? Maya Lewis and Aline?
yeah.
Yeah. I can go first, I guess. So I would like to especially thank Sal and Maddie. This is because when we came into Generation of Promise, we didn't really know anyone and would be considered to be shy. But from our first family meeting, they made my peers and I feel comfortable, and they were very welcoming. Throughout these months, they were always there for us and made us laugh and never made our opinions and voices feel silenced. But instead, they encouraged us to be ourselves and to be proud. They have definitely influenced us to be our better self. And therefore, I thank you both very much. And I'm glad to be a part of your family group and glad to know you guys.
I would also like to thank Maddie and Sal. Even from our first meeting, you guys have just had such a positive and welcoming energy. And I think It shows in our family group name that we've always had a unique and inclusive energy. And it's just been really great, even with things being a bit odd because of COVID and being online. It still felt like I can make actual connections and get to know everyone. And I really attribute that to both of you guys being such amazing leaders and just being so supportive and kind to us. So thank you for an amazing year.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And congratulations to Family Group 4, the Starry Nights Dolphin Theater Group on Wheels. I think I got it all. Awesome. And then last but not least, we have Family Group 5, Mish Paraskuli with Jana and Shayla.
Ms. Parsley has been amazing this year. I just want to thank you all for the effort you all participated. It was great to get to know you. Hopefully someday we can all meet in person. But yeah, just thank you for everything. Thank you for a fun year. Okay, so we have Amelia.
Woo!
And Grace.
Grace. Oh, oops, sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Shayla, sorry.
We have Grace.
Go Grace.
And Jasmine.
Woo! Go Jasmine.
Mustafa.
Go Mustafa.
Nisi.
Go Nisi. Woo!
Samiha.
All right, Samia.
Stavros.
Stavros. Woo!
Daniel.
And Daniel. Woohoo! And then we have Jasmine. Would you like to say something?
Gianna and Shayla. On behalf of the Mish Peruskali fam, we all wanted to say thank you on how much you guys encourage us, uplift us, and how much you have aided us through this whole school year. You always are very patient with us, and you always answer the questions and take as much time explaining the answers to these questions when we need it. You guys are always so uplifting and encouraging, and your spirits are amazing. And we always have fun in our family groups and making our playlists and just having little chats and making sure everyone is okay. You guys encourage us and are amazing leaders to us as youth. And we thank you guys so much for making class 30 the school year that it was for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Jana and Shayla, and congratulations, Family Group 5. Jana and Shayla, do y'all want to maybe tell the story of how y'all found the name Mishpara Schoolie? Because I think it's very good for it. It's very relevant to Generation of Promise and our mission.
Yeah, so we, everyone in our group looked up the word for family in their ethnic language, and we blended it all together and got Mishparuskli. I don't specifically remember what part is from which language, but it represents all of us.
Awesome. I think that's so beautiful. And so thank y'all. And congratulations, Family Group 5. Awesome stuff. All right, so those are all of our graduates. So big round of applause to our graduates. Woo! And for those of you who do know the positive rec, we can do one big positive rec and I can lead people through it. Or actually, Sal, you want to lead people through it since you're the master at it? Oh, you're on mute.
All right, there we go. Starts out with 2 snaps. So snap, snap, clap, clap, slap, slap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it right?
Yep.
So that's our positive recognition. Ready all together now. Snap, snap, clap, clap, slap, slap. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sal. And speaking of Sal, I have a very special award to give out today. It is the Russ and Joanne Bears Bridge Builder Award. And Generation of Promise established the Bridge Builder Award in 1999 as an opportunity to recognize members in the community with a demonstrated commitment to the program's vision of building a community of young leaders across Metro Detroit who are dedicated to the elimination of racism and discrimination. The award is named after Russ and Joanne Bears due to their commitment and dedication to Focus Hope and its mission. As a friend of Father Cunningham, Russ Bears was often called on to volunteer for various projects. When he got the call, he never said no. Russ was the plant manager at the Highland Park Chrysler plant and was a liaison to Focus Hope's Machinist Training Institute, a program he held close to his heart. His wife, Joanne, was a lifelong educator committed to serving through education. Focus Hope was such a big part of their lives and greatly influenced their philanthropic decisions. They measured everything they did against Focus Hope. Their daughter, Nancy, has also carried on their legacy and made a significant gift to Generation of Promise earlier this year in Russ and Joanne's memory. And so this year, the Russ and Joanne Bears Bridge Builder Award is being awarded to an incredible educator, role model, and facilitator in Generation of Promise who has been with the program for longer than any of us here on the call today have been here. He has been a committed volunteer facilitator for over 20 years and went above and beyond in helping us turn a challenging virtual year into the truest Generation of Promise experience possible for this year's class. On a Zoom call with over 50 people, it can be really hard to keep track of everyone, but this facilitator always made sure that no one was left behind. He would go out of his way to work with students one-on-one and catch them up when they showed up late or their internet had gone out for a few hours. He brought life into our virtual space by taking his Zoom call outside and encouraging us to go outside and do a nature walk with him. This facilitator has made sure the Generation of Promise spirit was strong no matter where we were as a group, whether it be out in the community or in the comfort of our own homes. And he has been a great partner to our program staff in honoring the traditions that Generation of Promise has built over time and creating visions for how we can grow in the future. So I am so thankful and excited to award the Russ and Joanne Bears Bridge Builder Award to none other than Sal Frontiero. Woo! Go Sal!
Thank you.
And yeah, go ahead, Sal.
Wait, let me get that. I pulled that right out of the phone.
Yes. So the Bridge Builder Award is made out of a Detroit Pewabic pottery plaque that Sal will be the keeper of for the next year as this year's Bridge Builder. So Sal, do you want to say a few words?
So with this virtual year, I'm out here in China Township getting ready to start work, but I'm glad I was able to be here. And so looking at this award, I was looking at the bridge, how there's all these cables supporting the bridge. It's my privilege to be among the supporting cast of supporting everything Generation of Promise stands for and helps all these students with. And if I turn it upside down, this is an arch, which is one of the first type of bridges and one of the strongest bridge support designs. And with all of the people in Generation of Promise and all of the students that have participated over the years and built this arch to be such a strong group and now a legacy in Detroit. No matter how, the more the arch is, the more bricks in the arch, the stronger it is. So I'm sure we're building a strong foundation for all the things that Generation Promise can do in the future. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sal. We love and appreciate you, and thank you.
I'll say I learned this year also, if you can see that bird flying in the background, that is a great blue heron. And doing one of the nature walks, I found where they were building their nest up in the top of that tree there. So that bird is actually carrying a branch to build a nest. More building. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sal. When you share, it feels like I'm not on a Zoom call anymore. It really does. So thank you so much. We all appreciate you. And so with that is the end of the awards. And so I will pass it back to our MCs.
All right, so next up, we'll have a brief talent showcase. So Generation of Promise, it's made up of amazing young people who hold many talents, from writing to acting to athletics to cooking and many, many more things. Our diverse interests and passions, they really make us unique, and we'd like to share some of them today. So without further ado, please enjoy this dance performance from one of our very own, Kennedy Marshall.
Kennedy here. Earlier, she said she wasn't going to be able to make it. Aha, that's why she wasn't here. There.
Yeah, Kennedy was not able to make it today, but this is her gift to us during our graduation.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Now we have Monique Becker. She is a class 19 Generation of Promise alumni from Groves High School. She is a former program facilitator and current GOP advisory board member. She is co-founder of Mona Lisa Development, a socially responsible real estate development firm with property management consulting and general contracting capabilities. A Detroit-based and woman-owned business, Mona Lisa Development, is committed to extending opportunities to other Detroiters and disadvantaged businesses. Mona Lisa Development is proud to work with over 90% minority-owned companies to rehabilitate homes and provide quality, affordable housing to residents who are creatives, community builders, and entrepreneurs. Monique is the manager of program implementation for building community value, where she supports real estate development for training for Detroiters building community. Value just completed its 11th cohort and has reached over 300 Detroiters. Alongside community members in the Virginia Park neighborhood, Monique helps to lead the Black Detroiters Rebuild Virginia Park Community Initiative. Black Detroiters Rebuild is a diverse coalition of neighbors, businesses, activists, and nonprofits who believe that property ownership by Detroit's Black residents is the first step in rejuvenating our neighborhoods. Black Detroiters Rebuild works in collaboration with other organizations to develop an equitable solution for neighborhood rebuilding that prioritizes generational wealth building opportunities for Black Detroiters. Monique graduated from the University of Michigan Literature, Science, and the Arts Honors College with a dual degree in International Studies in Spanish. Monique was recently named one of Crane's Detroit Businesses 20 in their 20s. With that, I would love to welcome Class 19 alumni Monique Becker.
Thank you so much for that intro, Jasmine. That was a mouthful, so thanks for sharing a little bit about me with everyone. So hello everyone, like Jasmine said, my name is Monique Becker. I'm an entrepreneur, community organizer, and real estate developer. But most importantly, I want to remind you that I'm a Generation of Promise alum, a former student facilitator, and a current advisory board member. In other words, my connections to this amazing organization run deep, and I'm so honored to be here with you today. Congratulations on successfully completing your year with the program. You were asked to do things many folks your age are not expected or encouraged to do. You've been vulnerable and honest with strangers, allowing you to build unique bonds across lines of difference. You've thought deeply and critically about the inequities of our society, and you've snapped back at injustice. You now hold many of the tools that you need to continue this work in the way that you are best equipped to do. Let me repeat that. In the way that you are best equipped to do. That means that if protesting is not your thing, you're not any less of a champion for what's right if you don't protest in the streets. But what it does mean is that you now have a responsibility to take this experience with you, to not forget what you have learned, to not put it in the back burner, but to take this information and knowledge and this privilege that you have throughout your educational and professional careers. Advocate for equity in the classroom, boardroom, and dining room. Tell them what you know and how you know what you know. It's about doing you while doing for others. We each have our unique skills and passions and can all incorporate a social justice practice within our lives. Generation of Promise, in fact, sets you up for this. It teaches you how to bring perspective and kindness to challenging situations. Imagine what the past 2 years could have been like in this country, how we could have come together during such a difficult and unprecedented time, if only for more open minds and more care for others. And after experiencing the past 2 years with your virtual school and social distancing, the isolation, civil unrest, and the mass loss that we all experienced, and still deciding to participate and still being present for a Generation of Promise, despite all those barriers, is really an accomplishment. And as such, I'm sure you already know all of these things I'm telling you. Truth be told, I don't think there's much I can say right now that is not already within yourself. You are here for a reason, you are uniquely you for a reason, and you are precocious, period. If you don't know these things now, I'm sure you will in time. All I'll try to accomplish in this short time with you is to share some things that I have learned and things that I continue to remind myself of daily. We got some years apart, but not too many years, so hopefully these things resonate. Number 1, success is not linear. Rather, it ebbs and it flows. 2 years ago, I left my job as director of development at a local real estate development firm. I traded my exciting salary and implicit prestige to pursue my entrepreneurial dreams of being my own boss and being able to move with mission. What this meant in reality is that I immediately went to an income of $0, and I found myself cleaning toilets and making beds at 6 a.m. Let me explain. My co-founder and I created Mona Lisa Development, and as Jasmine shared, we're a real estate development company with property management, construction, and we have a commitment to extend and create economic opportunities, not only for ourselves as owners of the company and for our employees, but also for community and other minority-owned and women-owned firms. And as part of our work, we own and manage a couple of Airbnbs with a third on the way. At the time of leaving our jobs, though, we haven't even finalized a name for the company. Everything was fresh. We did own 2 properties and 4 units, one of which was an Airbnb. And with no clients knocking on our doors at that point, we did what we had to do for the business. We didn't have a quality and reliable cleaning solution to prepare space for guests, so we filled the gap. I cleaned with pride and regard for all the details. And being the resourceful person that I am, just like many of you are, I'm sure, I further made use of this time and listened to as many small business podcasts as possible. I was working my mind and working my hands at the same time. We learned how much we love hospitality and welcoming newcomers and visitors to our beloved city, and we learned about the industry we were breaking into and grew from every bad review we received. There were few bad reviews, but there were some bad reviews, and we accepted that, we learned from it, we grew from it. Then the pandemic hit. Things paused. We were scared. We had a new business. We didn't know what to do. We thought that maybe we made a mistake. But then we pivoted. We realized that with so many things in flux, folks needed longer stays so that they could get their lives in order. We switched from offering short-term stays to longer-term in our furnished units. So we housed Detroiters in between homes, out-of-towners transitioning to the city. And as things began to normalize, we realized that this model worked best anyways. Was it our original plan? No. Did we roll with it and come out on top? Absolutely. Our commitment to ensuring this handcrafted, our hands crafted quality experience for the guests led us to be consistently awarded Superhost by Airbnb, and our property was actually featured in one of their national campaigns. We've been very successful in a short time, doing all that we do to ensure the best for the business and all those that our business touches. The point of the anecdote is that you got to craft your own definition of success, and you have to own that definition. Owning that definition doesn't mean that you will always win, but what it does mean is that every setback you experience is nothing more than a learning experience. Owning that definition of success means that you are responsible for ensuring your vision comes to fruition and doing all that you can to reach those goals, even if it means that you're cleaning toilets at 6 a.m. Number 2, respect the present. It is not permanent. So I've always been an anxious person, ready for the next thing, thinking about the greatest future I'll have, thinking about those dreams and goals ever since I was a kid, and just super anxious and eager for that next step. I rationalized with myself that the more I dwell on something and overthink through a problem, the more likely I would be able to control the outcome. And really just over the past year and experiencing the pandemic and the multiple pandemics that are going on in our country right now, I've accepted that life does not work the way. We can't control the outcomes. Life is going to work however the heck life wants to work. And you either accept that or you don't. But life keeps moving regardless. The present is not permanent. And so many times our fears of the future and all the uncertainty that it may bring leads us to detach from the present moment and the simple, simple beauty of breathing breath by breath. Deep breathing exercises led by helpful and quite accessible guided practices on YouTube have allowed me to calm my mind and focus on the present. I'm still pretty new in this journey, but it has helped me to gain perspective that there will always be more work, there will always be more assignments, knowing myself, the work will always get done, and that getting the constant flow of work done and accomplishing a constant list of to-dos and accomplishing a constant never-ending list of goals does not have to come at the expense of my peace and my mental health. Balance is what I seek. Focus on the present with the proper preparation for the future. but focus on the present, exist in the present, and take as many deep breaths as you can in the present. Of course, this is easier said than done, but I got my definition of success, and I'm sticking to balance, breathing, and accepting that I can only do what I can do with the present moment. So that's for all of you overachievers, all of you amazing students that we have here, all of you amazing community members. Just remember to take care of yourself and pause and remember to breathe in between changing the world. Thirdly, don't let anybody tell you no who can't tell you yes. A community elder gave me this piece of pertinent advice during month 6 of a tireless, yet to that point, largely ineffective campaign of bringing attention to a major injustice in my community. Without getting into all of the details, what we're focused on with Black Detroiters Rebuild, which Jazmyne told you a little bit about in my bio, is taking on developers and speculators, one in particular in the Virginia Park community, who control large swaths of property. That property and the opportunity that comes along with ownership of property, particularly that generational wealth, is the number one way Americans have gained that generational wealth is through home ownership. We're focused on right-sizing the opportunity so that it doesn't go to well-resourced developers to save an entire community, but rather that that opportunity is able to be seen by the individual residents and renters and folks who want to be homeowners, and to create those generational wealth building opportunities, particularly in the Black community. And, starting in the summer of 2020 is when our work really began, when we were realizing how pervasive anti-Black racism is and that it permeates all aspects of society. It was a very overwhelming reality that we had to reckon with as a country, and we're still dealing with. But part of the task, and kind of what I alluded to earlier, is that we all have unique genius and talents and can impact that change in unique ways. So a group of community members and I got together and are realizing that this is our opportunity to impact change, to connect the dots between opportunity, the haves and the have-nots. So we did everything we were supposed to. We met with many of our city council members. We attended meeting after meeting after meeting, where we got exactly 2 minutes to make our case. We eloquently laid out the problem and our solution to person in power after person in power. Folks knew the issue and did nothing to help. It was not until, again, month 6, that this elder reminded us that we were accepting no's from people who really did not have the power to tell us yes. They did not have the power to impact the change that we needed. After that, we went directly to Mayor Duggan. After a series of conversations and meetings with the mayor and other high-ranking city officials, things have culminated in the developer agreeing to release a portion of the property under his control. Dozens of homes and lots are now on the table. We are working through additional details and program parameters to ensure that these homes and lots are made available to those who need the opportunities most, and that the process is equitable. Particularly as a young person doing activism work, I wanted to make sure that I was following the proper protocols and channels, that we were respecting the system and the process provided for community grievances. However, what I learned through this experience and the national conversations on race and equity and how much work needs to be done is that many times those avenues and those systems are designed, intentionally or not, to maintain an inequitable status quo. In other words, trusting the process does not work when that process proves that it's not meant for progress. When you want something done, organize at the grassroots and collaborate with the top. Do not let your age, an experience, or a title scare you away from opportunities to impact change and improve the lives of people. Age ain't nothing but a number, and remember, you are precocious and you are here for a reason. Lastly, I want to tell you to speak your mind because it's the language that you know best. I wanted to close with this piece of advice because it may be the difference between you hearing everything that I'm saying and taking it in, thinking of ideas or projects or community efforts that you're working on and running with them, or doubting yourself and not pursuing your passions because of fear. I want you to recognize your weaknesses, but maintain a firm belief in yourself and in your ability to understand the world around you and to make an impact in a way that only you can. It's important to work in collaboration with others, as you all have learned through your experience with Generation of Promise. Everyone's unique backgrounds and perspectives definitely strengthen and aid any cause. And so, you recognize those weaknesses and you make sure that when you're working on something that you fill in any gaps that you may have with as many hardworking, committed people as possible. And when you're speaking your mind, because it's the language that you know best, remember that we're all human. We make mistakes and we may all have gaffes or say things we wish we hadn't throughout our lives. The point is that there are things that we know about ourselves and our surroundings that mustn't be kept inside. Speak what is on your mind and speak what is on your heart. Share your thoughts and your passions with the world. Trust yourself, love yourself, and just be yourself. Any way you come is the most beautiful way to be. To close, I just want to say thank you again for allowing me to speak and share in this graduation with you all. I want to extend the most heartfelt congratulations to all of the Generation of Promise Class 30 graduates. I'm so proud of you, and I know that your hard work and your focus will continue to pay off in the way that you need it to. Welcome to the Alumni Network. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Monique, for those inspirational and insightful words. So to transition into our next session, I'll be discussing the social contract. So at the end of each Generation of Promise year, each class creates their own social contract, which is meant to convey how we as a group feel about how we will operate out in the world as a result of our experience in the program. It's primarily a statement of commitment that shares what the community can expect from us because of our participation in the program. So to share our social contract with you, I'll invite Family Group 4, who led our class in creating it.
Yeah, so we started with a poem. That was how we decided we were going to show it. So I'll read that for you. Go to the next slide. Okay. Forced alone across Metro Detroit, Generation of Promise is where we rejoiced, crossing a void through our screens, uniting us all as one diverse team. In our time, we have met great mentors, growing as leaders as we continue these adventures, by tackling issues and power mapping to every culture we are adapting. Though our world is filled with distress, we must seek change, we all digress, to build a world filled with equity, to create a future filled with prosperity. Seeking a change is our priority, while standing with others in solidarity. We'll stand as one united family, seeking a cure for all of humanity.
To finish this off, we asked a few of our family groups questions about Generation of Promise. What part of it was most impactful and what will you take away from it? So here are their responses. First, we have Family Group 1, Scar City. saying we have learned about problems that affect us and that we didn't even know existed before Generation of Promise. We plan to use the learned leadership skills and apply them in the real world to fight real world problems. All in all, we think Generation of Promise is an eye-opening, warm hug. We also have a response from Family Group 2. In Generation of Promise, we have learned to never be silent and speak our minds because as youth, our voices are important and significant to our communities. We commit to applying what we have learned in our lives, becoming directly involved, and maintaining ties in our community wherever we go. And our third response is from our own little group. We commit to continue finding a community of people that share the same passion and commitment to learning and making change as we do. We will also use what we have learned to surround ourselves with people that will support and utilize the skills we learned to imagine and build a more equitable future. Thank you for an amazing year.
Thank you so much. That was a great social contract, everything. I loved it. I will now be introducing Lucia Park to give a few thank yous.
Hi. So I'll start my speech now. Together, we have ventured through the difficulty of virtual programming and have collectively grown stronger. We have relied on one another to arrive at this finish line and have all of your support to thank. To our GOP board members, thank you for making this experience possible. With your guidance and spirit, we have been able to find passions and pursuits of our future. Your continuous involvement and contributions in supporting our missions and education has not gone unvalued. To the program donors, whose belief in the youth's potential has given us a platform like such to create necessary change. Without your financial support, we wouldn't be here, educated on social issues and ready to combat them with what we have learned. Thank you to all of those working in the background, our Metro Detroit school liaisons, who intercommunicate for the purpose of opening amazing opportunities for us, like this. Along with all of our parents who have allowed us to take part in such a rewarding experience, especially those who have gone above and beyond in supporting GOP entirely. But finally, the biggest thank you to the role models of our GOP, our facilitators, who have given time to work with us directly as equals. They have given us the encouragement and guidance to achieve things in ourselves, community, and beyond. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Lucia. So we'd like to thank you all so much for celebrating with us this evening. And to give some closing remarks, we'd like to welcome the Generation of Promise Advisory Board Co-Chair, Paul Holdbrief.
Hi, I want to say thank you, obviously, to everybody. The board has struggled over the years to figure out how to fund ourselves or who we are, what we are. And what we always say is our students, you guys, and the alumni, their Generation of Promise's greatest asset. They're what we helped create, but also why we do. And Monique said, and by the way, Monique is a friend of mine, and that raises my status just by being able to say that I know Monique. But what I want to make sure, graduation feels like we're done. Congratulations, we got through it. We're done. What I want to make sure is that the asset that that you guys have are each other. Those family groups, the facilitators. So don't let that asset just dissipate or go away. So make sure that you maintain the relationships that you created here next year or on into college, and make sure you have the opportunity to hang out virtually with people from all kinds of different backgrounds, and you learned a ton from that. Make sure that you don't let that just fly away, or make sure that you guys stay close together. You become a family, make sure you maintain a family. The other thing, focus hope. All of what you guys were talking about tonight, and all of the capstone projects and everything, it was about social justice. And if you look at Focus Hope's mission, that's what they're all about, is social justice. So if you want to work on stuff, go volunteer with them. They got all kinds of ways in which you can participate and you know, do it. Keep it up. Every one of the capstone projects I heard it as, this is the start of something. It's not like a homework assignment that you turned in, but it's we're going to keep working on this, and I encourage you to keep working on it. And I think, you know, all of them are great, and they're all good stuff, but I think you can take it a lot further. As Alexa said, all of you obviously are much better at the social media stuff than your parents or me or others. And so use that tool to continue to drive for the change that you want to create. And then, you know, listen to those points Monique made, especially the one about loving yourself, and then using that as strength to go do what you want to do. So the Generation of Promise is in a good place. We're going to keep growing. We're going to further our relationship with Focus Hope, and we're happy to be able to provide this program. Monique said, welcome to the Alumni Network. Participate in the Alumni Network. Get involved. And one thing you'll see is that over the 30 classes of Generation of Promise, some of the graduates have done amazing, amazing stuff. They're judges, they're professional football players, they're business owners, they're Harvard valedictorians. The stuff that the Generation of Promise graduates have done is just amazing. And you're one of them, and they'll talk to you, they'll network with you. This is such a great opportunity for you to advance where you want to go. So with that, again, I want to say thank you for participating tonight. I want to say thank you for participating in the whole year. I want to particularly thank Alexa. Alexa and I've had the opportunity to spend way more time with each other than either one of us would have liked, and it's been terrific. And so thank you to her. And again, thanks.
All right, thank you again, Mr. Holtgreave, for your words. And thank you as well to everyone who came here tonight to see everything that we've done over this past year. Because as difficult as it's been, you know, Generation of Promise, it's truly a testament to the importance of the work being done, as well as the will and strength of everyone in it who, by joining, showed their dedication to affecting change and establishing themselves as leaders in their communities. Thank you again to all the parents and guardians, the facilitators, Alexa, Joe, everyone else in the Generation of Promise and Focus Hope staff, and the community organizers here tonight for making all this possible, and to Class 30 for stepping up and vowing to improve the acceptance and diversity and everything that entails through what you all have done.
Yes, well said, Adam. I do want to say thank you to everyone, every facilitator, every donor, parent, Class 30 peer. We had an amazing year, and I am sad to say goodbye to you all, but hopefully it will not be the last goodbye, and we all may be able to see each other or speak again in the future. I had a great year with you all. Shout out to the Youth Council for making so many fun events this year. Shout out to everyone that went to the events. Shout out to Class 30. Shout out to every Class 30 member who successfully finished their capstone projects and are continuing on with that journey. You all did fantastic. And I do want to say thank you to Alexa for aiding us in this program and having that foundation that we could build off of. and for letting us all have our own sense of leadership and continuing on this year and learning how to be a leader, learning how to work coercively with these people. I just want to say thank you to everyone and good luck everyone on the paths and journey you choose to pursue.
Shout out to our MCs, Adam and Jasmine. Thank you so much, everyone. Great graduation. And all y'all are now alums, so I will still see you soon. And so everyone have a great night. And
can we shout now, Alexa? Congratulations, everyone.
Yes.
We can be loud now. Yay! Woo!
Beautiful.
Excellent program.
All right, y'all. Bye, everyone. We'll see you soon.